Imagine this. It's New Year's Eve. What do you want it to look like? You could be sitting there all tiared up, or you could be sitting in front of your computer, sweating it out because you're still trying to meet those MBA deadlines. Hey, we've got 5 tips to get you to the party in style. Round 2 deadlines are absolutely insane. We know, we feel it, we've got you, don't worry. I've got 5 really great tips and a bonus tip to help you get past the post in round 2. So, first tip, finish up that application as quickly as you can. Don't be caught out and don't wait until the 11th hour to complete it. There's so much that goes on those crazy forms. It's really, really surprising. You can have things like final salary questions that you may not know. You may want to call your HR department and make sure that things like your job titles line up so that you're not caught out when you're admitted and they're doing the background checks. There are many things that can be vague and ambiguous, and if you give yourself plenty of time, you will be able to sort out all of those questions without any anxiety. The other thing is they always take a little bit longer than people expect. So if you give yourself the bandwidth, you will have the opportunity to finish those in a really relaxed way. You'll feel really empowered, and you'll also have a lot of fodder to be able to use on other application forms as well. So that is a tip well worth happening. Print and read out loud your products. There's something really magical about being able to print out your essays and read them out loud, because while you're working on them, they're only in your head. So you hear them only in your head, and it is so easy to miss little typos and little blurbs. When you print them out and when you read them out loud very slowly with a lot of intention, you will find little errors that you never saw before. You'll hear them. You'll hear how things trip off your tongue. And if they feel awkward when you say them, to a brand new reader who's never seen your work before, it might feel a little awkward to read them. So if you print them out and read them out loud, you're gonna feel totally assured when you're ready to click that submit button. Recommenders, oh my goodness, my friends. If you can get your recommenders to submit their recommendations 2 weeks in advance, you will be breathing easy, particularly around the holiday period. People, especially in Western countries, kind of go a little bit AWOL during the holiday period. And so if you ask them to meet the deadline 2 weeks in advance, and something goes totally pear-shaped because things happen. People break their legs. People get really busy and forget, even with the best of intentions. People, fall in love with Italians and run away. I don't know. All sorts of crazy things can happen to your recommenders, so give them tons of leeway. And this also gives you a little bit of time. If something does happen and you need an emergency plan B for a recommender, you've got the time and the bandwidth to do it. So make sure to get those recommendations in 2 weeks in advance. Test scores, do your very, very best to make sure that those test scores are final when you submit them. You can't always do this. The schools understand, but you are going to be in so much peace if you've got that crazy little detail done and dusted. So do your very best to get those test scores sorted out. Here's one of my favorite former Adcomer tips, and that is submit your application early. All sorts of crazy things can happen at the 11th hour. You never know. Servers can freeze, insane things happen, things get clogged up, so many people are trying to apply at the same time. Oh, and by the way, as a former Adcomer, what I can tell you, this is so fun. We're so super excited. We're sitting there oftentimes at the dashboard, refreshing, because we're really excited to see these wonderful numbers come in from applicants who we have nurtured along the journey. And when your application comes in, if you've made a relationship with an Adcomer, it is such an exciting moment. So remember that. And the other really nice thing, not all schools do this, but some schools will start to read applications as they come in. So if you're able to submit your application, a week in advance or so, you may have your application read at a moment when you're not going to be in like a massive pile of other applications. For instance, you're an Indian male engineer and you're applying to a school that might put you in a pile, for instance, like, oh, here, let's read all the Indian male engineers who have a GMAT score over X whatever. You may end up not getting put in that pile. They just might read your application because they want to get a head start on the applications. And they can sink into it, and they can see you as an individual human being, which hopefully they will see you as an individual human being in any case, but why not give yourself every opportunity for that? Finally, the last tip, believe in yourself. I know it is so tempting after you click submit to want to go back and review your application over and over and over again, but don't resist temptation until it is time for you to start prepping for your interview. Because if you see one little flaw, it is so easy to obsess over it. I promise you, you are not going to get dinged. One tiny little flaw is not going to keep you out of business school. So just don't worry and let it go and trust yourself. Think about instead what an amazing journey it's been, how much you've learned about yourself, what you have achieved in even getting to the point of clicking submit. It's really big stuff. And now just lean into graciousness. Reach out to people who have helped you along the way in your journey. Thank alumni. Thank current students. Send a thank you email to that awesome Adcomer that gave you some really amazing advice and just say, hey, you're one of the really big reasons that I clicked submit today. Thank you so much for all of your help. And then after you do all of that awesome stuff, go out and party like it's 1999. Yeah. My friends, we are so excited to see you around the CP campus. Be sure to click subscribe. We got lots of super cool stuff coming up for you. So stay tuned and we'll see you soon. And you're sitting there. All right, hold on, it's coming, guys, hang on. Be sure to click follow us. Be sure to click what? Subscribe. My friends, be sure to click, no,